Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new in here, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope everybody is doing good. So in today's video, I'll be making meat pie, as you guys can see by the title. First of all, I'll be starting by putting my cooking oil in my pan, and I'll wait for it to get hot. After that, I'll be adding in my chopped onions, and I will be frying this for about a minute. Next, of course, I'll be adding my tuna. You can choose any filling of your choice. You can either choose to use chicken, beef, anything, but I always prefer tuna meat pie. So the choice is yours. You can either choose to use anything you want. So now I'll be adding my knorr seasoning to season it up. You better be careful with this seasoning because it already have salt in it. So I'll not be adding extra salt in my mixture or in my filler. So after some minutes of frying, I'll put it aside for it to cool down. So whilst it is cooling, I'll go ahead and mix the other things which I'll be mixing. In this bowl, I have 500 grams of all-purpose flour, and I added half of my baking powder and 1 teaspoon of my nutmeg, and I'll be using 500 grams of the margarine. I want it to be smooth and to be rich, so that's why I'm using much margarine. After that, I'll be adding in some salt. My margarine is already salted margarine, so I didn't add so much salt. Now continue to mix it very well till you see no white flour in your mixture. Well, I have already mixed everything, and as you guys can see, everything is well mixed. I'll be needing water for my meat pie, so I'm adding little by little the water. You have to be very careful so that your meat pie will not be watery or will not be so soft. So you have to be adding your water little by little till you get the consistency or the thickness you want. Now I'll be putting it back in the bowl for it to rest for some minutes because my filling is still warm and I want it to cool before I will get started. Now that everything is set, I'll be needing an egg, and I'll use this egg to close up my meat pie. You can either use a flour, all-purpose flour, mix it a little bit into a water and close it up with your meat pie so that it won't get open in the oven. That whiting I showed you guys earlier, I don't really know the name, but I will call it meat pie cutter or meat pie shaper. So now I'll be rolling my meat pie into pieces. I think I got a pieces of 10 or 11, so I'll be cutting it. I roll it first to the thickness I wanted, and I'll cut it with that tin meat pie cutter. And you can either choose to do it in 3 different ways. So these 3 different ways I'm talking about is either you can use your finger and close up your meat pie, or use a fork, or either use your meat pie cutter to shape or to close up your meat pie. I applied a little bit of egg exactly where I'll be closing up my meat pie. You can either use a flour, mix it with the water and use it. So I'll be using that same egg I used earlier, and I'll be spreading it on my meat pie. So this process will make your meat pie, whenever it is done, it will make it look glossier and looks delicious, and gives it also a golden color. So while doing this process, you have to make sure that your oven is heating on I always heat mine on 5 minutes, for about 5 minutes on 220 degree. It depends on your oven. After I am done, I'll be using fork to make some holes, to create some holes. So you can either create 3 holes, 2 holes, it depends on what you would like. After I'm done, I'll be baking my meat pie for about 30 minutes on 220 degree. Now, lovely people, my meat pie is done. It looks very amazing and it tastes amazing. I hope you guys should try this recipe out. You can either enjoy your meat pie with a cup of tea or either a drink. You can enjoy it also alone. I love enjoying my meat pie with a fruity cup of tea. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you try this recipe out, and I'm thanking you so very much for watching to the end, and I will definitely see you in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell